Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Morning, ladies.
Sorry about
Morning.
that.
Morning. I'm back on my computer.
What
Back-
happened?
Yay. Morning, Eva. Morning, Karen.
Morning.
Morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, how did everybody do yesterday? Did y'all do something different? Did you do something working toward your goal?
Well, I'm still working on my genealogy. I've been calling back and forth, and now they want me to write a letter to find out where we stand or how much longer. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to continue and find and see what is the next step.
Awesome.
But they said that once, because I've been calling customer service, and they finally
Yeah.
told me the same thing. They don't have anything to do with it, and they're still stand to what their rules are. You're 30 days. So they said they don't. That's just it. They don't do anything else. And
Did
they
you
don't
call
have-
Beverly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
So,
did she?
She
Did you
said,
get to talk
go
to
ahead
her?
and text him. So I started writing a letter, but I just started. I mean, I disconnected. Not disconnected. I had to do something else, start with supper and all that. So I didn't finish it.
Distracted.
Distracted. Thank you. So early in the morning. Okay, but that's what's happening, and
Yeah.
mhm.
No, but as far as our
I even talked.
personal goals,
That's right. I talked to Dr. Alavi. I not talked to her. I texted her,
yeah.
and she said that she had to talk to Casey, and that she was the one that had to pay for the whole group. I don't know who the whole group is. Somebody was moving more than one, so I don't know. She said I had to pay for the group.
Well,
And I said, oh my goodness.
because she's more than one person. She had everybody underneath her as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She had tons of customers, Eva. So she had not
Yeah.
just a business partner. She had a lot of customers, a lot of volume.
Okay. Okay.
So how's everybody working on personal goals and getting to the next rank or whatever your goal was that we discussed yesterday? Anyone do something different yesterday than the day before that is going to get them closer to the next step?
I made I think 10 new friends in different groups. So that's just the beginning. So
Great.
you just have to say hi and just start a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah. Like I told Eva yesterday, baby steps, just take one step, put one foot in front of the other and make those steps, and don't beat yourself up if you don't, like you said, okay, and this is what I did yesterday, maybe I meant to do more, but this is what I got done. Be happy with that and say, okay, and I'm going to build on that. I got those relationships started. I'm going to build on those, and I'm going to have some more conversations today. So great. Good job.
I think I ended up reaching out to about 5 people, and I think instead of just being consistent with that every day, if I do more some days, that's great, but it has to be a minimum of at least 5 people,
Yeah.
so that way that's just a constant every day. And I think that consistency, a little bit every day, is going to add up to a lot.
Right, because it snowballs. It snowballs quick, and you end up, then you're like overwhelmed. And like I remember when when we were all in Salt Lake City, and all of those responses started coming in. We had reached out to 100 people, and all those responses started coming in, and then you were like, oh my gosh, and I'm uh, some people got lost in the shuffle, and it was crazy and just overwhelming. But so it does get like that. But if you start out small, like 5 people a day, and build on that, then I feel like, okay, they're not going to get lost in the shuffle. You're going to be able to have real, genuine conversations with them, and um, and build relationships, and use the hamburger method. You know, keep the focus on them, and you can tease them with what we've got going on, but at the same time, put it back on them. And that's Kinsley Mendoza, or whatever her name is, that does the hamburger method. And
Kenley.
I think we all know what that is, but it's like, you tease them with a comment of what you've got going on, and then you put it back on them. So tell me, how are those kids doing? Isn't Christopher supposed to graduate this year? How's that going? There's a lot of stuff going on that you can ask questions about right now.
And she always says, don't leave a comment without a question. So there's always a follow-up.
Yes.
Something to follow up with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do need to go back and rewatch that. I think I watched it when I first got in. Kind of got to it, and then just kind of, but to as Claire's talking about relaunching and redoing, going back and watching all those different videos might be a really good thing to do as far as, just starting over too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Michelle, that's your task today. You have to put the hamburger method on the website, on the page.
I will do that.
Terrific. Yes. It is something that, if you find value in something, that even if it is an old one, it can be an oldie but goodie, right? And just share it with us. Jim Rohn's is always fantastic, and if you haven't seen it in a while, the one that I'm referring to is the I'll think of it in a second. Anyway, but I'll
1 hour video with network marketing.
Yeah.
Hour and 6 minutes.
Yeah. It's fantastic. I mean, there's nothing better, and I just love that. But if you haven't seen that in a while, listen to that in a while. Listen to that one. If you have anything that is really good that sticks with you, like Jake said last week or the week before, read the last chapter of Think and Grow Rich. That's a good refresher, about the fear and things. So. Out of place this morning because all my stuff's at my desk and I'm at my computer. but it's a good thing. I'm happy to be back on the computer, and Zoom's probably going to eventually in the next week or so kick me off of this channel thing. So just be aware of it. If one morning I send out another link with the password, it's because Zoom's wanting us to go to the ones with the password. And
dang, I have this one saved on my laptop or
I
on my
know.
desktop.
I know. I'll use it as long as I can. I feel comfortable with it. I know that it's a safety feature for them, but I mean, we have 7 people on our meeting, and I know every one of you. And if I don't know somebody, if somebody pops in, usually Claire recognizes the phone number or whatever. Or Terry might recognize them and call them out, and then they say who they are. So I feel comfortable with it, but we'll use it as long as they let us.
I do want to give a shout out to Jake for posting the Rise of the Entrepreneur and the Jim Rohn audio that you were talking about just now. He posted it yesterday, so it's easy for all of us to go find.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Rise of the Entrepreneur is. Has everyone on here watched that?
Yes.
Yeah. It's.
I even posted it on my personal Facebook page.
Yeah. It's a great video. Well, thought out, put together. It has a lot of familiar faces in it, and yes, that's a good one to do. A watch party or whatever, right? You can do a watch party and do the video. I think somebody did that. I think Jake did that, and really, fantastic one to share.
Michelle, you ought to get your super customer Sasha to watch that. I think the movie itself for me is just a real belief builder. If anybody gets into this business and not sure about it, I mean, boom, he just destroys all the preconceived notions and the reasons why you should be in a business like this. I mean, it's just a real emphatic yes, why you should be in here. So like I said, anybody that's prospective, but also I think newbies, I think it's good for newbies because again, it kind of reaffirms that, hey, I made the right decision. This is why I didn't know, network marketing needed all this for everybody.
Yeah. And that, people are making a lot of money with it. And yeah, it does. It just reaffirms their decision for a new person that, wow, okay, I'm not an idiot like my parents told me that I am for joining this thing. Or Aunt Edna who did Mary Kay and, all that stuff doesn't work. When you've got these professionals that are telling you, hey, it not only works, but this is what it's done. So, and proven, numbers and everything, the facts out there. So that, it's definitely confirms any decision for network marketing. So cool. Keep getting messages from, it's like I don't work anymore, so you don't leave me alone from work.
You're trying to develop a new routine.
Yeah. It's like I'll just turn that phone over. I don't have to pay attention to them anymore.
There you go.
Yeah. Wow. So what else? I didn't do. I had a busy day yesterday with. I was in front of some people that. Ran the Sears guy off yesterday. Told him I don't want to see his face again. So that didn't go so well.
Oh, gosh. You won't be a business partner.
No, I gave him the sample in the beginning. And then by the time he left, before he left, actually, he was standing right here across from my desk. And I told him, you can get the hell out now.
What happened?
Oh.
Yeah, ridiculous. So I'll be calling Sears back today, but they probably won't be out for a while. Anyways, and then I went to Northside Lexus and visited with some of those guys. I just feel like, the more of the relationship building right now. I can get better. I can improve on that, and find out more about the people that I'm talking to. So that was kind of my challenge yesterday, is to find out more about the people. I found out a lot about the Sears repair guy that I ran off. But
it helps if they don't piss you off.
yeah. But at the same time, sometimes at work when, because he's got my information and he does have a sample and with me just being flat out blunt with him, sometimes people respect that and I might hear from him again because I think he knows he was trying to screw me over and, and I'm not putting up with it. So, anyway, so I may or may not hear from him, but that's fine. And
Well, with you saying that, Kathy, reminds me of a BOC call that Sadie White did one morning, and she just said, "Let's be honest, you don't want to do business with everybody out there. I mean, there are just some
Right.
people you don't want to do business with."
right,
And I said, "Yeah, because we're always taught in the beginning, don't exclude anybody, try to make sure." But I know a lot of people, unfortunately, I really wouldn't want to do business with.
I've
well,
met quite a few people that I would not even consider doing business with.
right. Well, we used to say in Mary Kay, if you don't want to sleep with them,
Oh my gosh!
and Rob, okay, keep in mind this was Mary Kay. So and it was all in fun because it was what we meant was sharing a bed at the seminars and stuff because we would share beds. There were 4 girls to every room, and when we went to the annual seminar, and so if you didn't want to sleep with them, you didn't want them in your business because you would.
Really, if you
Chances
can't
are,
trust them,
if they're on your team, you're going to be sharing a bed.
if you couldn't trust them to stay in your own room, don't have anything to do with them.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you're going to change the terminology of sleep with somebody.
That
I think you need to change it to bunk. If you
was
want
a
to bunk with
shock
somebody.
factor. That was a wow factor that I just threw into place just to get y'all's attention. Make sure you are awake this morning.
Or
Yeah.
wait,
But yeah, I still have some very good friends to this day that we call each other our bed buddies. It's like we knew we were going to a career conference or seminar or whatever, and we would be sharing the bed, sharing a room.
speaking of partners, Rhonda Blair.
Mhm.
Remember Rhonda Blair? Okay, you need to get in touch with her because her husband is having some issues with his knee. He's had the cortisone shots, and his back is really, really bad. And I told her, I said, you have got to try this. I said, because it will help. I'm trying to be compliant, but I know, you really want to, emphasize the fact that it's going to help them.
Right.
And
Well,
so you might want to reach out to her.
I had sampled her a while back,
Mhm.
but it was her more so than her husband. I grew up with her husband. We
Okay.
yeah, we actually we got off the school bus on the same bus stop, and we'd cut through the fields to our house and have horse turd fights with each other.
Nice. Cow patty fight.
I was a tomboy. I
Me
was
too.
definitely a tomboy.
Me too. We used to throw the cow patties like frisbees.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Rob's wondering,
Yeah,
what have I joined in here? What have I gotten
But
myself
we were over
into?
there. Rob and I went over there Sunday, and she was there, and her husband was there, and she was just telling us, that he's really, hurting bad, and he's had the shots and everything, and I know that is not cheap. So
Right, I've done it. Yeah.
and if he's already done that, he's kind of at the point to where he doesn't have any other options. And
Yeah.
she said, I know it's a little expensive, but yeah, I would definitely reach out to her and talk to her about that.
And Kathy, one thing you might also, because one thing was brought up, I'm not the coffee person that Michelle is, but they brought her
Gotta
some
have a coffee.
coffee from Chiapas, Mexico. And so Chiapas, however you pronounce it, we
Chiapas.
started telling her about how county has a school down there. They built a school and also have the first university, had some students go through. So I started talking to her a little bit about the charity and how we do. And she asked, what was the name of your company? And when we said county, she says, yeah. Then that's when she said, yeah, Kathy Harris had had told me something a while back about it. But anyway, you might want to bring up the charity again, or might be prepared to show something on the charity, because I don't know if that'll come up, but it came up in our conversation simply because it was the coffee beans that were served to Michelle that day.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So so are they open? Is their shop
Mhm.
open?
Monday
Yep.
through
Wednesday,
let's see,
Thursday.
Wednesday through
Yeah.
Wednesday through Sunday.
Yeah.
They're just closed
Yeah.
Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay.
So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're closed the first 3 days, and they're open Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, terrific. Yeah, I'll definitely reach out to them. And
And
yeah,
that's a spot where we might be able to meet too, because she has a coffee place now. It's like a
mhm.
where you can
Liquid
go and
bean.
eat breakfast, and it's really, really good food and good coffee, and not too expensive, and lots of space. So we
Yeah.
could always go and meet there, and they have a nice big outside patio area where we could meet. Very,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, and she's a Mary Kay consultant.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's where she said the connection, or that's where her connection with you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
And Ambit.
and Ambit, yeah. Actually,
she
it was
was-
through, the connection was through her husband, and his name's Charles, but I called him Son. His name was Son Blair, and but growing up, but Charles as an adult, he's Charles Blair, and that was, I reached out to her to just have a conversation with her about Son's oldest sister Debbie was there when my father passed away. So it's like so I was 5 when I knew their family.
Wow.
All the way up through now, so I've known them for a while. But
Well, also you got to configure that now that she knows that both Michelle and I are in Kiani, there's more familiarity. There's more people that if she was to make a switch or come over or take a look at it, she knows some other people in the business. So
true, yeah, and she, and
it
it's
can help her husband,
right, and it's something they can do alongside the Mary Kay. If she understands Mary Kay and what it's done for her, and as far as the business and the extra income, and to put Charles in charge of the oh hey, I think I'll write a TV show. Charles in charge. Put Charles in charge of Kiani. He could do that. That's something he could do as well, and even have it at the
Absolutely.
shop.
At the coffee
So,
place that Jake was
yeah.
talking about a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, very good. Thank you. I will reach out to him.
well, Michelle is looking at Charles being a customer for you, but I'm looking at Rhonda being a business partner, because she was.
Oh,
Michelle was telling me
absolutely.
how much of a networker she is. She's like a
She
real
is.
big networker, so that would be a nice little feather in your cap.
Yeah. I did. I approached her 2 or 3 years ago, and sat down with her and shared the product with her, and I took her some Mary Kay things that I thought that she could use, because I wasn't doing Mary Kay parties anymore. So I took her some supplies and stuff, because it was after Harvey, because their home flooded. And so and she had lost a lot of stuff. So I just took her some things to help her with her Mary Kay business. And but I also took her the samples, because she was looking for some supplements. She had, put that out there on Facebook that she was, checking into some different supplements. And so I was like, oh my gosh, have I got something for you?
Well,
But-
I think when she sees, because their needs have changed,
Right.
obviously.
Absolutely.
And I think if he is able to take it and can see a difference, it
Yeah.
will, that's what sealed it for me. You know what? I don't have the money for this either right now, but I know how important it is. It is a priority to me.
Yeah. Hey, it's the difference in me getting to sleep normal at night versus waking up in the middle of the night and wanting to chop my arm off.
Absolutely.
And so you think I'm going to go without this? No, I would go without meat first, or
Right.
maybe I'd have to go without milk or something that I also like. But I'm not going to go without our Kyani products.
Mhm.
There's
I know,
Yeah.
that's it. What I don't understand when people say it's so expensive. It's like, yeah, it is, but I mean, what
I'll cut
compared to
something else
what?
out. Maybe I'll cut out coffee.
Right?
You can cut out
Yeah, and
something.
honestly, I would in a
Yeah.
heartbeat.
Mhm.
So not
Mhm.
maybe 2 heartbeats, but
Yeah.
that's asking a lot, okay?
Yeah. But that's it's true. Sometimes that's always that might be one of the first things. It's so expensive. Well,
Well,
it's what you got your priorities on, where you place your priorities. And it's like, okay, if feeling good is a priority and you realize that it makes you feel much better, if you're in pain, constant pain, and this makes you feel better, it's going to become a priority. So
Absolutely.
well, in all honesty, Kathy, she did get that blowback. She did talk about it, and Michelle shut her down real quick. She said, "Oh, but it's so worth it."
Mhm.
Now, Kathy, did you listen to last Friday's BOC?
No, I did not. That was
Yeah. Go
Mark.
back and listen to Mark Hedrick. He's talking last Friday on sales and how to close people and making sure you develop a need first.
Yeah.
So if you can go, and that's one way of helping close somebody, is you got to uncover their need and address their need before they'll actually make a buying decision quite often. So it
Yeah.
was good training. I would definitely encourage you to go listen to that again.
Okay.
Also,
Cool.
the other thing with that, I think, is that it is important to acknowledge what the person says. If they say, "Oh, that's expensive,"
Yeah.
it's important to acknowledge what they said, but there's a big difference between acknowledging what they say and agreeing with what they say. So if somebody says, "Oh, that's so expensive," if you say, "Yeah, I know it's expensive," that's not a good way to go about it. It's one thing, a better response, I think, is using the feel, felt, found. Yeah, you know what? At first, I felt like it was expensive too. But what I realized is, or what I thought about, or what somebody pointed out to me is, when I'm 45 and I've got a $10,000 hospital bill or something, that's expensive,
Mhm.
or what I realized is I like to go to Starbucks every day and spend $5 on a cappuccino every day. That's kind of expensive. Or you know what? Like, find a way to reframe it. And expensive is just a frame of mind. That's the same thing as somebody telling us, "I can't afford this," or "I can't afford that." We know it's important that we don't embrace that,
You
right?
have to be able
Acknowledge
to
what they
put it
said,
in
but reframe it.
perspective for them.
Yeah, and just get that terminology out of their mind as quickly as possible. It's okay that they feel like that, and acknowledge how they feel and use that feel, felt, found. Yeah, I know. When I first saw this, or when I first saw the price, I felt that way too. But then find a way to reframe that so that by the end of it, they at least have the opportunity to see it as something other than expensive.
One thing
Well,
that I will say is when I started taking Kyani, I was going to Starbucks every day to get something with an extra shot. And I mean, seriously, I was spending at least $5 a day just to get me through the day. And I'll tell people that, when I started taking Kyani, I didn't have to have that cup of coffee from Starbucks that got me through the rest of the day.
Yep.
And usually it was not just one, it was two. So there's no telling how much I was actually spending, on coffee trying to get me through the rest of the day. So
Exactly. And you can even point that out to people, like, you know what? I realized I was going to Starbucks and not even thinking about how much money I was
Right.
spending there. I didn't find that expensive. However, it's just when I first saw the 1 month supply cost, I felt that way too. Right. But
Yep.
when I really thought about it, when I
Okay.
broke it down into a daily amount, I realized that it's truly not expensive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to follow up with what Jake said. That was an excellent contribution. Thank you, Jake.
Mhm.
One thing I think you can do is to get somebody, when they use that word expensive, explain the difference between price and cost.
Say it again. You kind
Price
of robo it
is
out.
something you pay one time.
Oh, price and
Oh, the
cost.
price. Okay.
Explain the difference between price and cost. Okay,
Oh,
price
price
is
and
something you pay
cost.
one
Okay.
time. Cost
Okay.
is so price, they're going to look at, oh, that's an expensive price. Well, yeah, look at the value of the product. Look what it does for you health wise. There's so many things that it can. And again, we don't make any medical claims, but to say, listen, this now feed your body with such super nutrition, it allows your body to heal itself. So again, when I use the word expensive, educate them on the difference between price versus cost.
Yeah. I put,
And sometimes it is. It's just a shift in their, mindset where you can actually, break it down and put it in perspective form so they can see, that there is value in it. And it's not just, it's not something that you're just spending money on for nothing, because it's going to help with so much more than just, whatever they're needing.
right. So, and just like Michelle did too, and Jake, it's like that Phil felt found. What is that? That's a story. You're telling a story. Well, you know what? I understand how you feel. I had a friend of mine that felt that way too. And what happened was, and you tell the story, and the stories, they can relate to those stories, and then make that a more informed decision themselves. So I shared an oldie but goodie, the Overcoming Objections by David Nieves, and on our page just now. And it's all, I understand how you feel. I felt that way too. Or, a friend of mine felt that way too. Or, Mr. Jones felt like that too. But what he found was, or what I found was, and then, tell the story. So, yeah, great stuff. And practice it, challenge yourself when you're in a situation like that to, I understand how you feel. I hear what you're saying is another way of saying that. I hear what you're saying. I felt that way too in the beginning, but what I found was, I was already taking some supplements, and then, so I was just going to switch out supplements and see if I noticed any kind of difference. And then what I found was, oh my gosh, not only did I feel a difference, I feel so much better. I was able to get off all my prescription medications. I no longer see a chiropractor. I mean, I haven't been sick with even the common cold in over 2.5 years. So I found value in this, this product. So.
Well, Kathy, if Rhonda, throws up the price objection again, of course, what's the pain point would be Charles,
Yeah.
son, whatever his name is. It just say, listen, if he could get to feeling better, how much would that be cost? How much would that be worth to you?
Right.
How much are those cortisone shots? And all cortisone does is just mask. It's treating a symptom. That's what it's doing.
Yeah.
It's not alleviating the problem.
And it doesn't work. I hate them. I had those too, and it's like it doesn't work. The only thing that worked for me, I got the relief, a temporary fix from the chiropractor each month, and by the time I got to that point, I was dying. And then, then the Kyani, over time, it wasn't instant. It wasn't instant, just to be clear on that. But over time, I was like, I don't even need to go see the chiropractor this month. And that was unheard of. I was always dying to go see the chiropractor by the time it was time for my appointment. It was like, oh my God, what day is it? Do I get to go yet? Whatever. But then it was like, I'm feeling pretty good. I don't think I need to go. And then I was like, holy cow, what they're saying about this stuff is true, because I woke up and I was sleeping on my left side. I could not sleep on my left side. I woke up and I woke up on my left side and I was like, what the heck? And I could move. If I woke up on my left side prior, I was in serious pain. So, and that's all our product. So, but it was over time. It was a gradual thing.
And I know Mary Kay makeup is not cheap either. I can't even justify spending the money on it.
Right.
And I tried. I really, really tried.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's all, and she will definitely understand that too. That's a good comparison, because, you've got people that, my mother-in-law is one of them, cheap when it comes to certain things. I mean, she'll carry that damn Louis Vuitton like it's, whatever. But then when it comes to spending money on a cleanser, it's going to be Pond's cold cream or some crap. I'm like, are you kidding me? So, it's priorities with some people, what they're going
Do you know what the payout is for Mary Kay?
what the payout is as far as,
Yes. Yeah. Well, we always broadcast. We have no problem advertising that we paid 52.4%.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what Mary Kay, are they at 30%? Are they at 40%? I mean, what do they pay out?
Well, on the retail end of it, it's 50%. But, as far as the actual payout, I don't know. But it's 50% on the product. And, but you have to maintain a certain amount. If you're not maintaining that certain amount quarterly, well, then you're not going to get your 50% discount. But everybody, and it doesn't matter what position they hold, they can get 50% on the product, which is actually good, because as far as, and that's better than Pampered Chef or any of those. I think they're like 35%, Avon 35%. But so just on the product and being able to, I don't have money to pay my phone bill today, so let me go sell, 5 eye makeup removers, and you got them because you stock the product, and then you can turn around and make 50% right there. So,
Well, my tack was if both Ron and Charles are retirement age. They should be retired. Okay. They're still doing something. I'm looking at a business side of it, and another angle that you could take to them and say, listen, why not join a business that pays the best in the industry, and
yeah. Oh, there's no reason why they would both be good at it. And I'll definitely present it that way, and see where it takes us. But yeah, I would love to have those guys on board. So,
Well, maybe Sunday we can all show up over there and surprise them. They have a beautiful area out in the patio where we could all meet and sit together if everybody's okay with it. I mean, I'm okay with it. I know you guys haven't been around anybody that has been sick or anything like that, but we can.
This Sunday's Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, that probably won't be a good idea. Okay, maybe next Sunday, the following Sunday after that.
Right. Yeah, I'll try to reach out to him here pretty quick.
Well, the following Sunday after that's going to be right after convention, so
right.
we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So speaking of that, okay. So I know we've got that Friday the 15th, and what are the hours of that? Do y'all know? Anyone?
From like 10 to 4, something like that.
Okay.
10 to 4.
10 to 4, and then Saturday the 16th is Team Fusion.
Correct.
Anyone know the hours on that one? No.
No.
They've been posted, but I didn't pay that close attention to it.
Okay. And any thoughts on that? What are y'all thinking?
I'm gonna get my $79 worth.
not, not just a convention, but okay, so the Team Fusion too. So
Yeah.
okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely different, and you know,
So
but
we have 7 people online. Did you say earlier 7?
yeah, we lost
Let's
Claire.
Okay, Claire. Okay, 6. Okay. What's predictions? Anybody have any predictions? What the new item's going to be in 2 weeks or 10 days or whatever?
It'll probably be something else with my guess is something more for maybe working out or something. What do you think? Because you know, it's got to be something Dr. Andreas is.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, my guess last year was like all natural shampoo or something. I was trying to think of something, a consumable that was all natural or something. So that was my guess last year for Salt Lake. I'm
Yeah.
guessing something towards gut health this time. Yeah, this is not something that's people starting to address. So I'm wondering if it's not going to be something on gut health, but that would be my guess. But you're right; it has to have to do something, Dr. Andreas.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the videos that I was watching with him, he was showing his refrigerator and all the foods and stuff in his refrigerator, and then you know, just kind of walking through his house, and he opened a drawer of a boatload of supplements that he still takes on top of the Kyani. Did you see that?
I did
He
not.
does. He says that he supplements extra on top of Kyani.
Right.
So
Well, so
I've heard
one
him
of the
say
products, yeah, one of the products that I you know, I took away from that was his vitamin D3,
that.
and I zoomed in on it and I ordered it on Amazon. So, because I was taking the D3, but one from Walmart or wherever, the local pharmacy, and so the one that he takes, I saw it in his drawer, and I added that to my stuff. But when he was walking through and showing all that stuff, it seemed like he gave away some kind of hint that there was something coming that might condense his drawer, or you know, so take away some of those extra things that he's taking that he won't need now because he's got a new Kyani product coming in. So that was my.
I think that's probably the closest, most spot on. I would think that's a pretty good guesstimate.
So the gut health. I don't know what do you take for that, Rob? Is there a supplement out there, or is it maybe some type of? Is it a probiotic?
That's what I was thinking.
That's one aspect. There's probiotics, but there's other too. I got involved with Dr. Gundy. He's got several videos out. Ben Warren. I sent you and Terry the day we were out at Michelle's doing that outside deal. I sent both of y'all videos on the gut health.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Warren is probably about an hour, and the other guy was only about 15 minutes. But anyway, I found them fascinating, and I think you're right. It'll probably be something that can although our 22 superfoods, the whole triangle really covers a myriad of issues, mostly inflammation related. There could be some blind spots, and maybe that's what he was working on, to have something, like you said, to maybe reduce the amount of other supplements he was taking, and maybe, again, this is supposed to be a new product, a new website. There's going to be a new website, a new app to put on your phone. So this is like even a different kind of business, they were saying.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, and the announcement yesterday with the
yes.
free shipping. Yay.
So
Yes.
you don't have to ask somebody for extra money for Prime.
Right.
That was always the kind of a stickler with me, or a sticking point with me. I just,
Yeah, your
Well, yeah.
I know.
$15 order is now going to go to 154 because you need to buy this to save money.
Yeah. And plus the fact that that new package didn't include Prime anyway. That new,
Mhm.
yeah, so that's good.
They probably thought that one out and kind of, but the people that got the Prime with it, I'm sure weren't too happy.
Well, they're gonna send product out to make up for it,
Mhm.
and that's cool too. I think
That
that's
is.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that good stuff. Good announcement. And David Jones yesterday on the Power Hour, talking about filling up my calendar, and it made me think, okay, I really need to fill up my calendar with making sure that things are getting done. Prior to me leaving, my calendar was full, me leaving my day job, and now it's like, okay, it got a few things in here, but it needs to be filled up. So that was my takeaways from yesterday. And reaching out, building relationships. All right, guys,
Well,
we're way over.
That's
But
one of the reasons why I missed David's call, because I was already on another networking Zoom call with another networking group. So, I mean, there's a certain point that you have saturation.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Overlapping.
Yeah. So don't feel bad if you miss something. Don't beat yourself up over it. We're getting plenty of to stay plugged in wherever you can, and if anyone has any questions or anything, just stick it out there on the Achievers page. We'll somebody will have a break and they can answer it, or I'm definitely more available now than prior. So reach out to me if you got any questions or anything. I can certainly try to.
If you don't block our phones.
I know.
Rob,
Yes, ma'am.
I might call you to find out. I know that Mark mentioned also on magnesium. He also said that if you're still having cramps, that you have to double or get more magnesium into your body.
Well, the magnesium helps you absorb the potassium.
Potassium.
Potassium is what you're going to need them, but magnesium is a real key ingredient. So yes,
But we already-
if y'all have a chance, I don't know if
Uh-huh.
I don't know if Dr. Andreas has a County's Wellness TV on that one or not, but I would look for it.
Okay. Yeah, because it was last week, I think he mentioned something about it. He says that if you're not getting enough, that might be your one of your problems, that you need to add more. So, and I said, but he never said, he never suggests, well, try getting this one, or give us a name, or so I keep missing that.
Oh yeah. No, he's not gonna do that. He's not gonna share
Uh-huh.
which ones to get. Just extra magnesium. Yeah, he had addressed. I think that was 2 weeks ago. He had addressed
2 weeks ago?
what all magnesium can do for you and how
Mhm.
important it is. So
Yes.
yeah.
Right.
All right, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Make it a great day.
You too.
Thank
Okay.
you very
You
much.
too.
All right, thanks.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
day.
Thank you. Great information.